some GM-ish. If you can catch my drift, I'm on some GM-ish. Finna dive into this first verse real quick.
Impala in a dream, that dream turned to reality. 3 years later, that reality turned to a 7-figure salary. Thought y'all be happy for me, come to find out it's a secret competition. Don't worry about how I know, but let's just call it out real nigga intuition. To be honest, I ain't got time to address accusations and questions. Besides, too many planes to board, now I can't wait to catch one. Sipping exotic drinks with my 365 in Maui. Meanwhile, leaving y'all with unfinished thoughts like how he can't get to a king, playing like a rook, nigga trying to cross me. Gon' need a bishop tonight, if the plan is to check me, stay out of pocket as Franklin, stay out of broke niggas' wallets. The flick of you wrist ain't enough to keep you rock silent. To salvage some silence, I advise you to drop it.
So basically, I popped my trunk, put clothes in my Impala, man, and shot to the West Coast in LA. Obviously, I've been talking about that since the song He Reigns, when I said I moved to the West. Had a dream in mind, ended up, letting some time pass by, did some great things, obviously made some pretty decent money. And that's where I'm at with it now. Super excited about things that's happening and popping off for me. Then you roll into some stuff and you start thinking, dang, I'm here now, But, in the midst of me doing all that, I had some moments where it's like I thought some people would be a little bit more happy for me, or happier, I should say. And sometimes I guess in life when you're doing certain things and you realize that you thought people were for you, but it's actually a secret competition going on where it's like, okay, I'm watching you do your thing, you watching me do mine, and yeah, I'm good, and nobody wants to see you do better than them. I ain't gonna say nobody, let me rephrase that. Some people don't want to see you do better, but the problem is you don't really know who those people are. I ended up having this whole intuition thing going on, and obviously you can kind of tell who's doing what based off, the interaction with you as your transition happens and they transition happen, or lack thereof. Whatever the case may be, it's some stuff going on there where you can tell. So hopping on, going forward, I really don't have time to answer no questions about how I'm doing it, what I'm doing, or what I'm not doing, this, that, and the other, because I'm too busy. And at this point, it's not just about doing work, it's about having fun too. And I'm too busy having fun right now. So I don't have time to address no accusations coming my way about something I've did or something I've done. I'm just out here living, man. That's all I'm doing. Going forward with that, I want to touch bases on the 365 thing as well. Well, everybody has their phrase where they have day one, real one, stuff like that. I figured, let me change that up. I use 365, and I was referring to my wife at the moment when we was going to Maui, sipping drinks and stuff. I was, just saying that's my 365. Meanwhile, some people somewhere in the world asking, how the hell is he doing that? Because I don't know why, but a lot of people think, going to Hawaii is super expensive and you can't do it, or you don't have time. Whatever the case is, whatever your plight is, you looking at my Instagram or something that I'm doing, I may post a picture somewhere and you trying to figure out how the hell did he get out there? That ain't the cat that I grew up with. He wasn't moving around like that. What he doing now? So you got cameras on you and you don't even know it. This last part of the first verse, I was kind of referencing chess pieces the whole time in a sense. So when I was saying, you playing like a rook and you trying to cross me, that's actually used as the chessboard, where obviously we know that the rook moves up and down on the board. And also it can be used as a reference as a rookie. When you come into the league, NBA, NFL, whatever, you'll consider the rookie. And the veteran in this moment is the king on the chessboard. So you coming for me with these sideways moves, trying to cross me. And that's also another reference, whether it's going crossways on a chessboard or crossways on the streets, where somebody's trying to get you caught up or whatnot. But you ain't gonna be able to do that coming with rookie moves, messing with a veteran via king. I also used another, metaphor with that when I was talking about the whole bishop knight in the night. I believe it's only two people that have that power in medieval times to get somebody to become a knight, and that's the king and a bishop, or somebody that's in the church or whatnot. But that was my way of saying you gonna need more than what you doing right now to come and put me in checkmate. Checkmate is basically just stopping me from doing what I'm doing, and that ain't gonna happen no ways. But you can try, and that's the only way you're gonna be able to do it. You're gonna need more in your arsenal. I played on this song, the flick of the wrist or whatnot, when I on this back end. I was talking about the flick of the wrist. You also know that that's relating to people that be in the kitchen doing their thing. You know, obviously cooking up crack. I don't really do none of that, so I can't get into no detail about it. But I know when I was talking about it, ain't gonna keep you rock solid. I know they say they gotta do a couple of things to make it come together. But also I was using that as a reference to your foundation. Like, you gonna need more than what you're doing, and what you're doing right now ain't gonna be rock solid enough, or your foundation ain't strong enough to even come at me sideways right now. So the only thing I can tell you is to really put it away. But again, I mean, it's not really even talking about nobody in general. It's more or less like I'm enjoying myself, and I'm putting it out there, having fun or whatnot. And then it's kind of like this whole competition thing, you know, in rap, where you kind of battling, but at this point I don't have an opponent. I'm just talking noise at this point.
J.Lou, what they want you to do, what they don't know what they expect. J.Lou, what they want you to do. What else can I say, man? J.Lou, what they want you to do. I'm here now, dog. J.Lou, deal with me. What they want you to do.
The chorus itself, preach. I mean, this is pretty simple. All I'm saying is what they want you to do over and over again. J.Lou, what they want you to do. And you know, I come from the South. We go to church and we call our, you know, our preacher, and they go up there and they do a sermon, or they preach. So in this particular song, you know, it's more or less not a sermon, but I guess you can call it a sermon in a way. I'm just giving you, you know, bits and pieces of my life, and I'm enjoying myself. And then going into the next verse or whatnot, I'll start to discuss these premises that actually I guess you could use them for your own life or whatnot.
No more Mr. Nice Guy. No more Mr. Nice Guy. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Picked a battle with somebody you thought you could beat, but clearly not the right guy. A lot of snubs being shot, but passing blame in a hurry. Taking shots like that, better have a 30 on your back, along with the last name Curry. And it's a shame when the bad news hit that they hope that it's you. Well, I got news for you niggas, you are just in my court, you and the joke is on you. Rolling with woes that create more woes, that's not how that shit go, homie. It's hard to be big when little got a grip on your toes, homie. And there's a fine line between a pipe dream and a pipeline. Choosing to jump with chances of flight and sitting on the bucket just waiting for the right time. Well, made my decision, now I'm chilling at the Portofino, staring at the ocean light. That's what I get for remaining so motherfucking focused, right?
So jumping in this second verse, man, I was always known as the you know, the good guy, the one that always try to resolve everything, be the mediator, don't want no issues. I don't want to be that person no more. When I see a situation I feel like I want to address it, I'll be okay with you being pissed off at me. My whole thing when I was younger, I didn't want nobody being mad at me for whatever reason, whether it was they fault or not. I always wanted to be the person, be like, okay, I apologize. Well, not this time. This ain't the way it's going down this time. I done grew a little bit. I've been out here going on 4 or 5 years now. I'm a whole different person. So I ain't really got time to be Mr. Nice Guy all the time. And it come to a point sometime where people, you know, they kind of shoot these slugs at you. They say these little things about you, or they even pass the blame on you on certain things, on why things are not working for them, or just in general. And for me, I reference Stephen Curry because obviously everybody know he's a sniper on the court with that 3-point jump shot. So what I'm saying in this particular part is like, hey, if you gonna come for me, your evidence of what you trying to have against me, it better be as accurate as old boy shot from Golden State, because otherwise it ain't popping off like that. So you can go ahead and miss me with that. Sometimes people have these wishful thinkings, and sometimes it can be negative. Like, I see what he doing, it's kind of like I don't really want him. I don't want him to do better than me, or man, I hope that deal don't go through for him. Like, it's almost like you wishing something happens to the person. Like, and I'm sure you've experienced some stuff like that in your lifetime when you felt like you was going up for a big promotion or something like that, and somebody was like, I hope he don't get it. I hope she don't get it. But they ain't gonna never tell you that. They smiling in your face, but they wishing you don't get it. But my thing is, ha ha, the joke's on you. You adjust in my courtyard. Again, another reference for King. Justice is a more of a joker who entertains a king. So all this hate is just basically jokes to me. The other thing I don't like is when people, and this is part of where I get into the whole preach format when I'm trying to give you some advice. Like, hanging with people that don't mean to do any better, it's gonna hinder you. Rolling with woes create more woes. It's not the way it go. Like, you don't need to hang around people that's gonna create more woes. If that means hanging by yourself, then it is what it is, because that means you're gonna grow some form of fashion. And being around people who don't grow, it hinders you. It keeps you stagnant. And also, when you got plans or things that you want to do that's bigger than life, you gotta be able to think that and live that. You can't think small but you want big dreams. Like, it don't happen like that. And they go hand in hand with hanging with small-minded people. Like, you can't have big dreams with a small mind. It'll never work out for you. I mean, I've never seen it happen. Let me know who did that. And, you can hit me in the comments if you've seen somebody that had a small mind and had a big dream and they actually made it. So just let me know if you see somebody who done that. In my opinion, there's a big difference between a pipeline and a pipe dream. I break that down. So obviously we know what a pipe dream is. I ain't got to really go into that. But what I meant by a pipeline is, when I think of a pipeline, I think of a connection of people, opportunities, work ethic, all this stuff works in togetherness to be able to get you to the greater good that you trying to go to. And for is, jump and flight, like, man, you got to know the difference between the two. You got to know when something that you're doing is really like something that's able to be achieved, and something that you just kind of like, yeah, I want to do that, but you ain't. You got to know that. And that's all based, because everything is achievable. It's really based off your belief factors, what I'm trying to get at. So that's what I was referring to when I said you got to know when you want to take flight, or you just sitting on the bucket waiting for the right chance. Like, man, I hope I win this lottery. So you basically scratching lottery tickets, hoping for the right chance to do it. So your right chance is buying those lottery tickets over and over again. Taking flight is, man, you putting yourself into action, making sure that you do what you need to do to be able to give yourself the best opportunity. Now, for us, the whole Portofino, so yeah, I was able to go to the Portofino hotel or whatnot and look at the ocean. Basically, my opportunity to reflect on life and be like, man, all I had to do was just remain focused. And man, look where you at. And I ain't even reached my full potential yet, but that was my opportunity there. And that was also, it was kind of like an anniversary moment for me and my wife, but I also had a reflecting moment there too as well. So that's what I was referring to when I was talking about the Portofino. So moving along to this third verse.
I'ma stay one up on y'all, cause y'all set your sights on shit that ain't big enough. You think about a golf club, I'm thinking about a golf club. You wanna be an artist? Shit, I wanna sign an artist. Fuck it, I'm tryna be a martyr. Say you move like a crook move, I don't really think you move like a crook move. To be honest, I don't really think you move like my kids move. And I'ma name a new month for y'all and they call it obituary. Tryna end anybody that don't mean me well by any means necessary. And then the minister preaching a eulogy about the old me to the new me. Ship it to the news feed so it can reach from the front row to the nosebleeds. Proceed, every time the mic get touched, I'ma give a good sermon. You gon' feel me no matter if you black, Latin or German. Have a good rapport with me, say it on one accord.
I kind of piggyback on the part about having small-minded thinking. I was just basically saying, you will never be able to catch me as long as you think the way you think. And you can put yourself in my shoes as well. Like, you have to make sure that your mindset is big, for what it is you're trying to obtain. I used a couple of lines there where I was talking about golf club. The difference between the two was somebody else may be thinking, oh, golf club, like, what am I going to do with a golf club? Meaning just one club or whatnot, or maybe the whole set. When I'm thinking a golf club, I'm thinking the whole golf club, like the country club. I own that. That's what I'm referring to. There's a big difference between being a golfer and being a person who owns the golf club. You feel me? So that's what I mean about that. And I also was like, yeah, I may be an artist, but at some point I want to sign an artist. Some people just is okay with just being an artist, and there's nothing wrong with that. No dig on that. But when I'm setting my sights on, like I said, if you're setting your sights on something that small and that you will never be able to compete with what I got going on. And again, it's not necessarily coming for anybody or saying that I'm in competition with anybody, but that's just kind of like this whole confidence that you have to have when you're thinking. And again, it's not attacking anybody, it's just being real. Like, man, I'm gonna be the best at what I do, and I'm gonna keep elevating because my mind is gonna let me keep elevating. So I made this whole thing about these crooks. I know a lot of times we get on, some of these songs, we be jamming them or whatnot. And again, no dig on nobody, but you say you move like a crook, or not even songs, man. Some people be like, yeah, I'm making these moves in these streets. I'm moving, I'm doing all this, moving and shaking. That's all that's happening. Ain't no real money being rolled in or nothing like that. It's like you move like a crook. I don't even think you move like my kids do. And what I meant by that is basically they move with intent and purpose. People say they hustle and grind and doing all that, and I don't necessarily mean crook in this instance. I just referring that because that's what crooks do. They say they hustle. So you can act like you hustling and grinding, moving and shaking and not be doing anything, because there's no intent and purpose there. Now, obviously, I've been kind of going back and forth with these between a sermon part and then kind of being arrogant about coming for me battling. I mean, kind of like on some rap stuff, but just having fun again on some competition stuff rap-wise. It's like, if you coming for me rap-wise, man, I'm going to name a new month for you, obituary. Everybody know what obituary is, and I'm trying to end anybody that don't mean me well or by any means necessary. So it was a combination of playing with the whole the rap thing, where it's like, oh yeah, it's competitive. It's a competitive flow with the battles and stuff like that. But I'm also playing with the fact of real life about ending anybody that don't mean me well. And again, when I'm referencing these things, I'm not necessarily saying physical harm. What I'm referring to is like, man, I may cut you out of my life. You may not hear from me again. I may say something to you that'll change the way things work with us. Whatever the case may be, if I feel like I'm being threatened for is not being able to grow with you, there's a chance that I'm going to end it. And that's what I was referring to when I was talking about that. Yeah, so I jumped back on the whole eulogy thing, preaching to the old me. So basically, the old me is dead. I remember this joint from Jay-Z's album. It was Volume 3. And he was saying, back to Sean Carter, the hustler, Jay-Z is dead. Kind of played on that reference when I was saying I'm preaching a eulogy about the old me to the new me. So I'm talking to myself in a sense, like you can't go back to what you was, because you see where you were when you was that person. This new person, you need to be this person at all times, and you need to keep feeding yourself and growing at all costs. And with that growth, you want to be able to use your platform and be able to grow other people in different ways, through your music. And when I was talking about the end part, I was referring to everybody, blacks, Latins, Germans, everybody, when I was from the front row to the nosebleeds. Nosebleeds is, if you don't know, you never been in a stadium, obviously those are seats way up there at the top where people look like little dots at the bottom when you watching games. But my goal is to reach everybody from the bottom that's on the front and on the floor seats all the way up there, for me to reach out to you and let you know, hey man, this is what you need to be doing. This is how you can do it. You can have fun with it and cut people off that needs to be cut off, man. You ain't always got to be nice. So all of this stuff that I'm talking about when I'm talking about my fun that I've had, people coming for me, or competition wise, just again, like I said, having fun with the whole situation. You can do the same thing in everything that you're doing. You enjoy what you're doing. You also know there's people out there that don't mean you well, but it don't stop nothing, and you continue to grow. And you want to make sure you impacting people as much as possible. And then at the end, obviously, I was on some let the church say amen type thing. Preach.
They want you to